Here we go, AMP BFG coming up next.
USA Ultimate is proud to present the 2017 USA Ultimate National Championships. 2 down, 2 to go here on semifinal Saturday in Sarasota. In the first mixed semifinal features Seattle BFG in their first ever appearance at Nationals. They've made it all the way to the semis to take on a perennial competitor, Philadelphia AMP, who's in the semis for the first time in 10 years. The all-Seattle final is still a possibility because later tonight we'll see Mixtape and Slow White, Seattle and Boston, the top seed against the defending champs. But first, it's BFG and AMP in the Acronym Bowl here at Nationals. Alongside Megan Tormey, I am Evan Lepler, and this is interesting because AMP hasn't been here for a long time. BFG's never been here. So what does that mean?
I think it's fair to say that this means a lot to both teams. BFG, very new to this scene, even though it's filled with some very star-studded veterans. It would mean a lot for them to show that they can coalesce with their newbies to make a play on the big stage. Similarly, AMP has been working on their program for years to get them back to this spot where they've been before.
Let's start with Seattle BFG, a team that does have quite a bit of players who have Nationals experience, but as you can see, this is their Nationals debut. Lily Gu, Alexa Kirkland, and Tommy Lee founded this team just last year. They had hopes of making a splash in 2016. Didn't happen. They ran into Mixtape in a one-bid region. But now Seattle BFG is ready to go to work, and Jeff Pate has been their star center handler. You see the 12 assists on the weekend.
I think it's fair to say that BFG's offense runs through him, but I think the other point about him that makes him so amazing is that he's an incredible athlete. You're going to watch him cut aggressively to get open, and then from a very open position, launch the long puck.
Michigan alum, we'll see how he fares on the biggest stage of his career. Philadelphia AMP, founded in 2006, Patrick Sherlock, the head coach. This is a team that has revamped its team, no pun intended, with plenty of youth. Michael Ng from Pittsburgh, Linda Morse from Pittsburgh, youngster and Carolyn Normile, who's special. They have one player who's been on the team, though, 12 years. She's still really good, Raha Mozafari.
When you have that much young talent, it's nice to have an anchor like Mozafari. She has been on this team for a long time and has been a workhorse for them all along. The team looks to her to set the stage, to set the scene with her work ethic. She's always happy to put forth and produce by working and doing what it takes.
These two teams met twice during the regular season. They split the two matchups, the rubber match, with a stake in the finals on the line. Seattle BFG and Philadelphia AMP, the plastic flies here in Sarasota when we return. The USA Ultimate National Championships are presented by Discraft Ultrastar. Find the official disc of USA Ultimate at more than 1,900 U.S. retail locations. Still breezy, but a very pleasant Saturday evening here in South Florida. Seattle BFG starting 7 with Kelly, Bryson, Simon Fox, Chang, Kirkland, Hayden, the handler, Lindsay, Simon Fox, Bryson's wife, and Crystal Koo, formerly played for Vancouver Traffic, now in the mixed division with Seattle BFG. And for Philadelphia AMP, the veteran Mozafari leads the crew of cutters with Emily Shields, the very dangerous Anna Thompson, who has gotten rave reviews throughout the tournament. Michael Ng from Pitt, Kelsey Devlin, Nico Lake, a very experienced young handler, with Calvin Trissolini, who has been their primary distributor throughout the tournament thus far. Breezy conditions, but it has cooled off a little bit, and it should be a very pleasant Saturday night for Ultimate, although the wind is a factor, as it has been the first two semifinals we've seen today. Revolver over Ring, and Brute Squad over Molly Brown. And now two mixed semifinals, Seattle in each of them. I think it's more likely that neither Seattle team wins or both Seattle teams win.
All right, folks, here we go. 2017
It's fair to say that the very talented city indeed being able to field two teams that are made it to the semifinals, but they're facing some very tough opponents.
Rob Robinson.
AMP will launch the Frisbee, and we are underway. BFG receiving the opening pull.
Out of bounds on the
And
pull.
will be taken at the brick mark. That's where Jeff Pate will initiate for Seattle BFG, a team that was really founded as a result of a surplus of players. Seattle, such a strong ultimate scene, churning out youth talent year after year. This team, a combination of youth like Linnea and Alyssa Sue, and veterans like Peyton Kingery and Adam Simon.
It's a really good mix, and I think that's why they've had so much success. They have
the defensive rounds and an easy score. Crystal Koo wide open. Not how Amp envisioned starting this game defensively.
undoubtedly not. That's a risky person to leave all alone. Like you said, I think it's just a blown assignment. Great foot, however. Koo, who has been instrumental in helping BFG advance the disc down the field, finding herself in a unique position to just slip unnoticed into the end zone for an easy score.
That's Seattle 1, Philly 0.
So Crystal Koo, the 26-year-old from British Columbia, with the goal. And since we're dealing with so many acronyms, BSF with the first assist for BFG.
That play, a good example of how the skills of the older players are assisted by the youth and athleticism by the younger players.
2-1 through Pool D. They lost a tight game to Slow White in the 4-5 matchup. Beat Mischief in the pre-quarters, and then a 12-11 win against Shame. A game that ended with Shame scoring the final goal, but the hard cap had gone off about 45 seconds before Shame scored. And the looks on the BFG faces, that's not how they envisioned clinching their first ever berth in the semifinals. It's a conversation for the coming months. Should we change that rule about having a hard cap in the quarters or at all? Michael Ing connects downfield with Anna Thompson. Anna Thompson, a competitive runner, just 20 years old at the University of Pittsburgh, where she plays college ultimate for Patrick Sherlock and Rahamo Zafari, who co-coach University of Pennsylvania team. Hoping to take advantage of what they consider to be their female advantage. Playing 4 females here on offense. And that throw, not sure it was intended for Ing, but it found him. Mo Zafari. Back to Ing. Good downfield defense from BFG.
Great downfield defense from BFG. Like you said, AMP knows that they have strong female handlers. You saw them trying to get the advantage by just having their women grind and grind. BFG, well prepared for that, made sure that they weren't able to generate quick movement, quick momentum by keeping their bodies in prime position to just slow down that momentum.
BFG could not work it off the line. Andy Coleman turns it over right back, and there's a tough catch by Anna Thompson. Kind of a laser from Chrysalini, but it's another assist for Chrysalini, another goal for Thompson, and a hold for Philly Amp.
Good handler defense from Amp, forcing that turnover. Amp moved very quickly to take advantage of the turnover from BFG. Like you said, quite a laser from Trissolini, but exhibiting a lot of faith and trust in his teammate. Shot to the shin, but not too much for Johnson.
Anna Thompson, you look at those two players, they look very similar with a brown-haired ponytail. They call Anna Little Raha. And you can see why. She's got the skills. Amp is very excited about the young talent on this team, and Chris Alini's part of it. Played for Triforce, the YCC team that's been so successful out of the North Carolina Triangle. Billy Amp 3-0 in Pool B. And, you know, Amp has had some struggle living up to their seeding several times in recent years. They were the #1 seed in the tournament last year, lost in the quarters to Slow White. They were the #1 seed in 2013, lost in the quarters to Wild Card in their first time ever as the top seed. This time they come in the 2 seed and they played brilliantly. They've really played well all throughout the season. BFG looking long again. Kieran Kelly had it taken away by Ryan Flamberg. First turn from the BFG O-line. Rosso can't come up with it. Defended by Kieran Kelly.
Jeff Pate coming back to pick up the BFG.
Jeff Pate will collect. Kieran Kelly played for Sockeye in the past, also Santa Barbara Condors. Oh, how about the effort from Rosso after it was deflected inadvertently by Pate to take care of the ricochet. And that'll work.
That's bookends for Rosso.
And breaks to take a 2-1 lead.
That's Philly 2, Seattle 1.
Here's the throw from Kelly to Pate, which would seem almost routine. Rosso very quick to capitalize on Pate's bobble.
This is Carolyn Normile. Cheeky and successful with that over-the-top flick.
I was watching these two teams warm up for this game. BFG chose to run some drills. Amp lined up 2 lines across and practiced, I don't know how many, 50, maybe more throws in each direction. And frankly, I think that was a much more intelligent warm-up for a win like this.
Just to keep it simple?
Not necessarily to keep it simple, but just to get high reps in each direction so you understand the wind could do this when I throw cross field. The wind can do this when I throw cross field, forehand, backhand, multiple times, just to give you so many looks so that you can continue to adjust and understand what might happen as the disc is floating in each direction. I think we may have seen that work in Amp's favor. I think Flamberg did a better job of reading the disc when it went deep. And I think Rosso did a better job of reading the disc than Pate did, which resulted in 2 Ds for Amp.
Michael Ink unleashes the pull. Here's Adam Simon, known much better in the ultimate community as Chicken. He's had a storied career in the sport for another title. With Revolver back in the earlier part of this decade. Also played for Sockeye and Ironside and Johnny Bravo. Won a college title at the University of Colorado back in 2004. Talked a good amount about the Carlton cult and Simon Burnett Paideia cult. There's plenty of them too. After we turn over the deep shot, and it's defended. Great recovery by Perry Chang. Knocked it away.
Adam Simon going back to pick up.
Disc starting to sail just a little bit close to the sideline. Not nearly as much as Perifico presumed that it would. Chang able to step in, take away the distance and make that dig.
Quick turnover for BFG. Thompson rifles it. Alicia Dixon lands in the end zone.
Nice grab from Dixon in the front of the end zone.
That's Philly 3, Seattle 1.
Alicia Dixon, energy personified. spirit captain for this AMP team, and there really was no other choice. Dixon played at Philadelphia University. 24 years old. She's actually moved out to Colorado to be in a grad program, but she has continued to display her great leadership by example. And as Patrick Sherlock, her coach, said, just unlimited energy, boundless. And another rifle from Thompson. So that's back-to-back breaks for Philly AMP, 3 scores in a row. Philadelphia AMP, this program technically founded in 2006, but it was basically founded back in 2000 as the team proudly named Donkey Bomb. Mark Stikowski, one of the founders, and on that original team, guys like Trey Katzenbach, David Dillon, who's Trent Dillon's father, was on some of those early Philadelphia mixed teams, early 2000s. A lot of players through the years. Never really know in the mixed division, Megan, whether a team is going to be a shot in the pan, be around for a couple of years in the title. Will we be talking about BFG as a current team 10, 12, 20 years from now? You really don't know. They've had 2 strong debut seasons here in the semis in year 2. And certainly with much more Nationals experience in this mixed division, and it's showing early. That disc floats over the defender into the hands of Justin Carter. And one more disc to Zubron gives another break.
Here's that throw from Kelly Kingery that just sails a little bit too high. And AMP answers back with quite a shot. Carter does a good job of hedging his bets, hanging back and waiting for that disc to drop into his hands. Got a couple of fellow AMP players who are quick to follow the play.
BFG has taken a timeout, trying to halt this Philly momentum. As Zubron, his 6th year with AMP, gets the goal. And Justin Carter, one of the rookies on AMP this year, with the assist. Chatting with Adam Simon, the veteran, this past week, better known as Chicken. And he said one of the things about practice, we have so many veterans on this team, sometimes people get angry because we talk too much. We want to just rep things instead of talk about them. And you know, you've been around that when you play with a ton of experienced people. Everybody thinks they know best. Everybody has to get their word in. That's one of the really great things about some of the top club teams, the trust they put in their coaches and captains. Because you know it's hard for some of the non-captains who perhaps have been captains to muzzle themselves a little bit.
That's a great point, but that can really take precious time out of practice, put too many cooks in the kitchen, and change up the game plan significantly. It can take a lot of trust to sit back when you think something should be done differently, offensive, defensively, with the schedule of the season, any number of things. But a good program has someone at the helm who not only can set an appropriate program, but also get everyone on board and even encourage the dissenting opinions to sit back, relax, and just have trust in the program.
Steve Rosso, another AMP rookie, will launch the poll. There's Patrick Sherlock. They'll take a portion of this team down to Argentina next month to play in the Pan American Ultimate Club Championships. And he's excited about it. He said he has a tweaked hamstring, but he's hoping to get better enough to play. He used to play on this team, but in his words last night, I never really played that much. And he has transitioned to to coaching basically after 2013. He said as a captain, he thought of himself as a coach. And he was raving in his reviews of how important Ben Pellig has been, injured with a hamstring, unable to play. But basically, coaching from the sidelines is one of the captains unable to contribute on the field. Harry Chang. Amp throwing a different defensive look here. And Kelly has to send it back. And here's Chicken. Koo, a quick swing, Chang. Sneaking it through the teeth of that cup. Well done. BFG tic-tac-toes its way down the field. Feels like the timeout settled them down a little bit.
I'm not sure what they said in the timeout, but whatever they did say worked. BFG came out with exactly the right energy. You noticed patience, but still speed as they worked to try and get the disc ahead of this Amp cup.
Very crisp throws down the field, not really leaving any doubt.
That's a very intelligent way to attack a zone. Zones often are put on when conditions are windy enough to make high throws, go lofty, giving the defense the opportunity to come up underneath and make a play. When you keep the throws short and fast, it can take away the advantage that is present in the zone.
Rebholz to Kirkland to punctuate the point. And it's 4-2. BFG is a team that I think throughout the season has been fueled by their defense. Want to get that defense back on the field. Got excellent team speed.
Tommy Lee on the pole for BFG.
Led by Captain Tommy Lee. Spent some time with the Polar Bears in the Bay Area during their championship days. Zumbrum's throw incomplete.
And turnover.
Door opens. Jimmy Hooper will pick it up.
Jimmy Hooper to pick up for BFG.
And Kate Kingsbury was left wide open. Former Spirit captain for Seattle Riot. Very proud when they won the Spirit Award in addition to a title in Lecco.
This is coming back to Tommy Lee.
You ask anyone on BFG about, who are some of your top players? KK, as they call her, is usually the first one mentioned. 38 years old, originally from Denver, went to Carleton. Ran track for a year, and then committed to Ultimate. Foul off the disc.
Looks like we do have a foul call.
And it's coming in at 1.
Currently uncontested. It's going to come in at 1. Tommy Lee to put it in play. Stuart Heat on the mark.
Lee, aggressively marked, needs to dump it. Gussin, miscommunication, leads to a turnover. He thought Richards was going to go, and he stayed. He started to go. Why didn't he keep going?
I think he was trying to make an
Tommy Lee with a
impact.
takeaway just back to BFG.
And gives it right back. Coleman gets the reset. Richards. Tyson disc hung onto, and then Tommy Lee rips it. Just out of the reach of Aaron Richards. got a fingertip on the disc. Even
BFG unable to connect on the
touching his
deep
disc was impressive.
This over to Amp on
That
the
would have
turnover.
been quite the grab, so close.
Matt Sundrum back to pick up.
Unable to make an amazing play. I think Lee's throw had just a tiny bit too much zip on it.
Kelsey Devlin, younger sister of
Big
Melissa,
ball.
who we saw with Denver Molly Brown in the last game.
Not effectively, but this will advance.
Carter launches. How about the speed of the young Alyssa Sue, just 21 years old. She and her twin sister Linnea really broke onto the scene. 2016 College Nationals with the Whitman Sweets.
They are fantastic athletes, and as you can see, some amazing speed.
Aaron Richards wants it all. Kate Kingery near the back line. Does not have the room. These two teams both getting a little huck happy here. Hucking and hoping and coming up empty.
PFG turnover on the deep look. Back, Sundrum back to pick up once again.
I kind of thought that's something we would see a little bit later in the game. When you start to get tired, it's so tempting to just put up that puck to try and end the point a little bit sooner. I presumed while legs were fresh, we might see what we're seeing right now. More throws, shorter offense, less hero ball.
Turnover.
A drop from Devlin with the footsteps of Gusson nearby. Gives BFG a chance virtually in the red zone. Lee. Here's Gusson. And trying to land in the end zone, he did. Aaron Richards gave up his body for the score. And BFG
Aaron Richards in the BFG
another
score.
break.
That's 44,
The
Seattle
first
3.
break for BFG. They get one back to make it 4-3.
Here Amp is trying to work it down the field with more conservative throws and just a careless drop. This time, however, BFG will capitalize. While Richards couldn't make the amazing grab earlier, that right there is a pretty good one.
So 2 in a row for BFG. Get back within 1 after trailing 4-1. Wondering, BFG doesn't mean necessarily one thing. It originally was the best friends gang, also became big friendly goons. These are ultimate players, so they have a lot of different creative thoughts that go through their minds. At one point last year, they had a bunch of 6'3", 6'4" guys on the team, so they would run a goons zone, have a cup, basically 3 or 4 6'4" or 6'5" guys.
It's a nice defensive look to be able to have.
Out of bounds. Nico Lake to pick up. We'll walk it back to the field.
Nico Lake. Man the handler spot.
About 10 yards in
outset
front of
here,
midfield.
Georgetown University product. From the outskirts of Philly, from Linwood, PA. It's Michael Ing. Thompson over the shoulder of her defender to Lake and then back to Ing. A short field and basically 3 young and handlers do the rest in the future.
That's Philly 5, Seattle 3.
Thompson, Lake, and Ing doing it all. Emily Shields as well. Apologies.
When AMP gets their short game offensive working, it is very difficult to guard. You notice how comfortably they use the break side space. They throw some really aggressive fakes to try and move their mark, and then trust that their downfield defenders are going to read that well and make a cut for the break side.
They made that look really easy.
They sure did. BFG is going to have to be creative in what kind of defenses they put on the field to keep AMP out of that comfort zone.
Like BFG, AMP has meant a bunch of different things. A few years back, I was told it meant the Acronym Manipulation Project, which is what I hope it means, but I don't think that's actually what it means. And Patrick Sherlock said last night that it really doesn't mean anything. He said, though, they did clear the Wawa locally last night. And energy drinks. That is a thing where they do use that for inspiration and obviously energy. Of an effort there by Kerry Chang to stop that disc from rolling out of bounds further. Oh, on the second effort, fortuitous recovery from Lindsay Simon Fox. Karen Kelly up the line. Bryson Simon Fox. Fires cross field. A true 50-50. Each team got a hand on it. There was a call.
Call down there in the end zone. Terrifico with the initial deep.
I'm not so sure I agree with that call. I don't think Kirk would kind of play on the disc. I think the disc is
Okay, so
There's actually a whole pile of people.
do you want to? So do you want to keep it? So foul, contest, uncontested, or bring it to me?
Yeah, I'm cool with it too.
Okay. So my rule, no foul. Wait, don't say
Check the check, guys. Wait.
Check the disc in. And we're good to go. Defense.
So AMP will take over.
Raha Mozafari to pick up.
Mozafari, gold medalist for the USA mixed beach team in Dubai 2015. And with the USA mixed team in London 2016. Looking for it all. Taken care of by Bryson Simon Fox.
Bryson Simon Fox with the takeaway for BFG. This goes out to end. BFG turnover.
Timeout called.
Stephen Ing is against the end. He'll take a timeout. That's Ant's first timeout of the first half.
Takes the timeout.
Uncharacteristic drop from Kelly, who has been such a solid player for BFG this entire season and this particular tournament. In their very tight game with Slow White, he and Kate were working tirelessly to ensure that it stayed close. Ultimately, Slow White took it away at the very end of the game, but it was a battle all the way to 11-11.
In the mixed division, the Triple Crown Tour in 2017, Seattle BFG got off to a great start. Made the Pro Elite Challenge in Aurora early July. Boston Wild Card won it in Columbus. But it really was a Seattle season in the mixed division. Mixtape looking for the true Triple Crown here at Nationals. Triple Crown being the US Open title, the Pro Championships title, and obviously the big one here at Natty's.
It's an interesting thing to add to the conversation, the fact that BFG very nearly took away Mixtape's hope of winning the Pro Championship. BFG lost to Mixtape in the semifinals by 1 point, and it really took an impressive performance by Mark Martin and Drew Johnson to keep Mixtape in that game. It very easily could have gone the other way. We might have been having a different conversation about those two Seattle teams.
That's certainly true. They say it's a very healthy rivalry, a respectful rivalry. Ing turns it over immediately, looking for Dixon. Here's there was a call before the throw.
Over to pick up.
Kerry Chang might have been accusing Stephen Ing of a push-off, and yet
did have a
there's
stall
turnover.
called.
No, it's a stall. This is one where you let the stall go, because if you're BFG, you're in a better position now, just letting the throw release.
Defense, can you?
So just take the put it in play, brother.
Payne initiates. Tough catch made by Alexa Kirkland.
Foul.
Foul downfield. Philly leading Seattle 5-3 in this first mixed semifinal.
Going one!
Seattle Mixtape, defending champion Boston Slow White, coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern. Chang needs a bailout, finds Pape.
Good call.
There was a pick downfield, not involved in the throw, so Pape will keep it with a fresh stall count. You can see in the distance just how beautiful these fields are, empty and docile right now. Lively and active throughout the past few days. The crux of the competition. Pool play on Thursday and then bracket play beginning on Friday morning. All the pre-quarters simultaneously. The quarters were staggered. BFG punches it in. That's a hold. Amp had a chance for the break, had the disc ball timeout, could not convert. So it's back to a one-score game at 5-4. More good footwork around the goal line. Bryson Simon Fox with his first goal of the game.
Really nice backhand around break from Pape.
Jeff Pape and his wife, Anna Maria,
Suffice it to say it's a
and
BFG
in
goal.
Michigan. Both played ultimate there, moved down to Seattle. And
Seattle 4.
Jeff got a job as a software engineer out in Seattle. Of course, Anna Maria is on the team. She is not playing because of a good reason. She's pregnant. I would love to hear that. I'm very happy for the Papes to get that out there. But Anna Maria Pape is known by her teammates as Amp. So there would have been just a natural hilarity of her teammates yelling for Amp, and anytime someone says go Amp, they're cheering for her. It's a missed opportunity, but alas, hopefully she's healthy, feeling good, and is confident her husband can continue to dish scores like he has all weekend.
Yeah, it's a good reason to miss an ultimate game. Maybe these two will meet in the future and your dream can come true, Evan.
That pole lands out of bounds, so the brick mark will be where Nico Lake will again initiate the play. It's going to be Trissolini. Lake is reset with Ing downfield, along with Linda Morse, Emily Shields, Kelsey Devlin, and Anna Thompson. This is a young 7-person O-line for Philly Amp. About as young of a line as you'll see in the club division in the semifinals.
I always feel like that shows trust from the leadership in putting that many young players on the line when the stakes are as high as the semifinals.
The men are 20, 23, and 22. women 24, 20, 21. And
Turnover.
gives it away this time. Kelsey Devlin 24 as well. Not enough float on that big backhand from Lee.
BFG turnover on the knee foot. Michael Lee to pick up for him.
Michael Ling has really come on strong in the college division these past couple of years with Pittsburgh squad. Crissalini airs one out. Lake in pursuit, and he'll get there. Misread ever so slightly by Jimmy Hooper. His Lake collects the score.
What a point. It really looked like Hooper was taking the right angle, but apparently the disc was just slightly too high for him. And you have to give Lake the credit for continuing to read that disc after no doubt he thought Hooper was making the play on it. I mean, he had to stop, turn, and catch over the other shoulder. That's great awareness, great athleticism to make a clutch play.
Crissalini picks up his second assist. Lake involved in his second score. And Amp back up by 2. There have only been 3 of the first 10 points that have been turnover free. Interestingly, 2 of them have come from BFG, the team that's trailing by a deuce.
Austin Bonelli on the pull for him.
Austin Bonelli uncorks the backhand pull. Chang centers for Koo, and now Pate. And a cross-gender matchup on the mark. Pate throws into the teeth of the defense and was easily picked off. Nice job by Carolyn Normile, continuing to complete that cut, and then cross field to complete the break. It's Ryan Flamberg.
Carolyn Normile to the end zone. Ryan Flamberg brings it in for the Ants 4.
This happened pretty quickly.
That's 37.
Not sure what Pete was looking for, whether he was just firing it behind his teammate Red Bulls or he had another idea in mind.
Neither am I, but how about Normile?
Yep.
Her ability to throw these high-release flicks that maintain their trajectory. I also have to credit her ability to find some really tricky spots and then absolutely nail it.
Amp's precision when they've been close to the goal line, a huge reason why they're ahead in this game. They're now 6 of 7 in the red zone. And you're right, Normile, she'll play for head coach Alex Snyder, USA U24 women's team that's headed to Australia in January. Of course, we'll see Alex Snyder, the player, in tomorrow's championship game. She's been involved in 7 titles with Fury already, and she's determined to pick up an 8th. It'll be Fury and Brute Squad tomorrow to cap off our Nationals coverage, 3 p.m. Eastern. That one expected to begin. But you're right, Carolyn Normile, just 22 years old. It was interesting. Raha Mozafari was largely considered one of the top women's players in the world. As Patrick Sherlock, her coach and husband, put it, probably from 09 to 13, Raha, one of the best in the world. Raha's still good. I think Carolyn Normile is one of the best women in the world right now, and you're seeing it tonight.
Yeah, when you have a player who has field vision like that and then the skills to actually make the connection, that is invaluable. This
is a critical score here for BFG. take care of business. Don't let Amp go up by 4 at the half, because Philly will receive to start the second half too.
Pick called. Just going back to Lindsay Simon Fox.
Amp has had 4 breaks in the half. BFG with just the 1. Simon. To Chang. Been a tough season physically for Adam Simon. He tore his meniscus at sectionals, had surgery, started rehabbing it about 10 days out. Return to the field. Body's not feeling great. For Simon, will be 35 in November, but he's still out there in the semis at Nationals, which isn't nothing.
Certainly not, especially that soon after surgery, and to be such an impact player like he is.
Crossfield, Scuba intercepted. Simon's throw picked off by Rob Robinson. Stephen A. directing traffic, sending Robinson long. 6-foot-tall receiver has the bookends. There's a call. And it's been waved off, and Amp has taken half.
Even in with a shot in the end zone, Rob Robinson with the
Pretty good 70-yard sprint for Rob Robinson, really 80 yards, maybe 90 yards.
Sure, it was fueled by his adrenaline for making that stop in the end zone.
He walked into the front, so we'll take away the sprint from the other end zone to the goal line, but he just took off, gave it to Ing. And a tough grab by Robinson for the 5th break of the half. Wow.
That's tough.
Yeah, it looked like BFG had the disc first, but the call rescinded, so it's a good goal for Rob Robinson, 27-year-old out of Westchester University. Pennsylvania native, allows Amp to double up BFG in the first half. About to have a chat with Lily Gu, one of the 3 captains referred to as the energy captain for BFG, and that will certainly be important going forward. I believe Lily Gu down on the field. Lily, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Thanks for taking a couple minutes to join us. I heard you referred to as the energy captain. What will your message be to try to turn this semifinal around in the second half?
We believe in our team. I mean, this game is really in our control. We believe in our team. We have some people to thank: our sideline players, our practice players, our parents, our partners. They've all put in so much to this team, and we're gonna pull this out for them.
In addition to belief, what X's and O's changes are you going to make to battle back in the second half?
I think it's clear that the wind is putting a lot of, and Amp's defense has been putting a lot of pressure on our offensive line, but I know that we are capable of, playing solid offense and then getting out there and grinding on D and getting break after break.
Let's be honest, when you were part of the Rain crew creating this team in 2016, did you envision being in the semifinals of Club Nationals?
No, this team has been just about us this whole time, so we're really happy to be here, but this is just, we just envisioned having a team of best friends, and we're really happy that we had the opportunity to be here.
Lily, you have either 1 or 3 halves to go in the season, so best of luck. We'll let you go enjoy it with your team. We thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Lily Gu of BFG trailed 4-1, got back to within 1 at 4-3, but then a 4-1 run to take it to half. Philly 8-4 at the break.
There is a place where we are us at our best.
A place where everyone is welcome.
Regardless of age, shape, skin color, or anything else that tries to box people in.
A place where we defy the odds, defy the naysayers,
and even defy gravity.
A place where it's accepted that success
doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave, to the determined.
A place that knows grit, knows grace, knows bright lights, and knows empty bleachers.
A place where we remember to laugh,
where we learn to trust,
learn to high-five strangers,
and eventually even learn to fly.
A place where character, community, and competition
are all as balanced as a disc in flight.
That place isn't in a stadium or on a field.
That place is in the spirit of our players.
Because we don't just play ultimate, we live ultimate.
Halfway through this first mixed semifinal with Philadelphia Amp in front of Seattle BFG 8-4. We'll look at the first half highlights, Megan. Opening point of the game, defensive breakdown, easy score for BFG.
Yeah, what a confidence.
Little false advertising though, because it would not be that easy for the entire half.
Absolutely, it was a confidence boost, but it didn't continue after that. We saw some really fantastic play from Amp. Normile making some incredible tosses into the end zone. With cheeky little short over the top throws and beautiful forehand flicks. That was more the norm for Amp. Nice, pretty offensive movement. It was a lot more arduous for BFG, who had to face Amp's tough defense. And then seemed to have to struggle to find those open lanes. That was one of the more easy scores that we saw from BFG. Typically, it took effort like this from Richards to put them on the board for BFG.
It did seem easier in that first half. This possession involving basically just 3 players, Shields and Ingen Lake, tic-tac-toed it into the end zone themselves. And at the end of the half, Nico Lake read it well enough for the score. This misplay by Jeff Pate gave the easy fast break, and again, Normile. Incredibly impressive performance from the young 22-year-old from Philly.
Wrapping things up for AMP's first half with this play. Fantastic put. Having the opportunity to look at it again, it does look like BFG got the first grab.
There were 6 breaks in the half, 12 points. Philly had 5 of them. 8-4 at the half here in Sarasota. AMP leading BFG 8-4 at the half, and one of the Philly captains, Andrea DeSabato, joins us down on the field. Andrea, congrats on the good start. What has gone into it? How have you built this lead?
Nice. So we just tried to focus on flying high, but not getting too high, also coming back down after big plays, realizing we just got to look forward and make the next play. So getting amped up and then being able to come back down, but not too low, kind of staying at that middle level.
When you guys get the ball moving offensively, you seem very nearly unstoppable. Is that just your performance tonight, or is that something that defines you?
I think it defines us a bit. We are always looking to attack vertically, and we don't just want to throw side to side all day. We want to score and we want to attack, but we don't want to force anything. So we love using our legs. We are a very fitness trained heavy team, so we try and utilize that in any way we can.
Andrea, aside from Raha and Patrick, you're in your 8th season. You've been around as long as anybody on this program. What's it been like trying to build and get back to this point? You guys have had some great regular seasons, and yet you haven't performed at nationals to the best of your ability. How have you learned from those to get to where you are now in 2017?
I think we have a lot of young talent, probably the most we've ever had in my 8 years. We probably have the biggest gap in terms of average of age, so we're pretty high and then pretty low. So I think that helps keep us at a level where, adding that youth but keeping that veteran experience has been awesome for us this year. And this is the year we've really been able to show it and kind of expand on everyone that's been playing together for a while, but adding in the new exciting and energetic youth.
Great stuff, Andrea. We'll let you go. Get ready for the second half. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Andrea DeSabato, in her 8th season, she played lacrosse at Temple University, found ultimate, and is now 7 points away from a trip to the championship game at nationals. Philadelphia and the second overall seed here in Nationals in 2017 with an 8-4 lead as we're about to start the second half. Trissolini and Normile, 2 assists apiece for AMP. They've been among the leading passers throughout the weekend for Philadelphia here at Nationals. BFG in a tough spot. They trail by 4 and they have to pull. What's the key for BFG to try to get back in this and change the narrative in the second half, Meigs?
They have to come out with some really intense defensive pressure here. They don't have a ton of time to work around with, so they have to get a stop right here, convert, and then do it again.
With Megan Tormey, who won a national title in the Masters division earlier this year. I'm Evan Leffler, our fantastic crew here in Florida. There's the defensive intensity you were thinking about. Tommy Lee with the D, and BFG, can they counter?
BFG looks to Lee for that defensive intensity, and BFG is able to capitalize.
Lee gets the D and the hockey assist. Richards to Kinkery for the score. And it's 8-5. They need more of that, but it's a good start.
We know that Tommy Lee is known for being a leader on the defensive line. That is a prime example of how one individual's play can help turn the tides for a team. Obviously, it's not enough. They have to do this again. But this is where comebacks begin.
Obviously, Kelsey Devlin didn't do a great job attacking the disc, but it looked like she had no idea that Tommy Lee was nearby. Her teammates could have done a better job. She had beaten her defender so easily and was so wide open until Lee came with a poke. So Richards with the assist. This is a BFG team that has, over the course of its season, gotten rolling. They are very capable of putting runs together. During the regular season, Megan, Philly Amp only lost to 2 teams, both from Seattle. Lost to Mixtape once, lost to BFG once. Of course, they also beat BFG as well.
I talked with Anna Maria Pape from BFG about their loss to AMP, and she said, that was the first tough game we had as a team this season.
12-7 back in early July at Pro Elite.
They learned a lot from that loss and are obviously a different team coming out today.
Ambitious flick from Stuart Heen gives BFG another shot to break. Tommy Lee in no particular hurry to pick this disc up, biding as much rest as he can before the intensity resumes. Cross field, too far. Intended for Kyle Terrier. Zumbrum, Normile, and back. Normile was open with a cut, just hit the ground with a foul on the throw. Normile from Heen. And it's 9-5 Philadelphia.
That's Philly 9, Seattle 5.
There's that ambitious hammer. The Terriers not quite able to run down. AMP settles themselves, and it really looked like BFG was putting on some tight pressure. But as AMP has showed us so far this game, they work well in that short space. They're not afraid to throw tight break throws. Their team is ready for that. They position themselves in the end zone for it. And when it comes zipping in, their hands are prepared to pull it in.
So AMP matches its largest lead, back up by 4. Obviously, one of the subplots throughout the weekend here in Florida has been the looming World Championships in Cincinnati. Winning this game with complete certainty sews up a bid. There's been talk of third place games. I think by the end of the bid divvying process, it's likely that the USA will get 4 bids. Don't have any inside information on that, but that's the hunch. Nonetheless, not on the top of everybody's mind right now, but something to think about. Alicia Dixon marking Lindsay Simon Fox.
Good call.
Just me, or does AMP seem like the more energetic team right now?
If they've cleared grocery stores of their energy drinks,
that's fair.
It's understandable why.
Good call.
Pick downfield. Crystal Koo has the disc. Pape. Kelly looking for Simon. Adam Simon gets there. Long-time handler defender. Tip turned 35. He's had a tough year physically, but he still has the burst in the semis at nationals to run this one down.
Adam Simon, known as Chicken, has quite the impressive resume. He himself has won a championship at club nationals before when he played with Revolver in 2011. Exhibiting some of the athletic caliber necessary to close out big plays. It's no wonder he hangs that gold medal on the wall.
Adam Simon had a great 2008, 2009 season as well. Made the initial World Games roster back in 2009. World Games ended up happening at the same time as his sister's wedding. His sister told him to go for the World Games. He ended up not making the travel roster, so it worked out. He was able to attend his sister's wedding, but
that's a very understanding sister.
That's what I said.
Tommy Lee on the ball for BFG.
Tommy Lee launches the pull. You have a feeling that if BFG is going to get back into this, Tommy Lee is going to have a lot to say about it. A guy who has triggered many a defensive run throughout the season. And in part because of Lee's defense, that throw sails wide. Stuart Heen could not run it down, and Lee will pick it up.
Tommy Lee to pick up for BFG.
Jimmy Hooper to Lee. Looking across the field, that throw hangs deep enough for the score. Second break and a half for BFG, and they're starting to make their move.
Making another great grab for his team at a very crucial time. Watch him read that disc. Knowing that there are two defenders at his back, he reaches up early to rip that disc down. The timing on that grab was absolutely crucial to ensure that it was a BFG score and not an AMP block.
BFG team capitalizing on their opportunities in the second half. They went just 1 of 5 in break chances in the first, 2 of 3 since the half.
AMP has elected to go 4 women, 3 men on this next point. Always a good play.
They're definitely showing that they are willing to do the work necessary to close the gap. Tommy Lee's energy and effort certainly crucial and necessary in this game, but this has to be a full team assault if they want to close the door on AMP's chance of playing tomorrow.
Tommy Lee on the ball for BFG.
4 female players out there for AMP on this offensive point. Dixon, Mozafari, Morse, and Thompson, with Lake, Trissolini, and Ink. BFG goes zone. Basically a 4-person cup with the 3 females and the 1 male. They're using the long arms of Steve Gusson in the middle there to try to disrupt anything through the cup. Trissolini with a little hop, skip, and a jump to gain an extra yard. So So far, not much positive downfield for AMP on this point. And there will be an uncontested foul.
Foul called. No contest.
Mozafari,
This will
player
come
to
in
have
on one.
to anchor this
Mozafari
12-year
put it in
team.
play.
Stuber over the top for Dixon. Gaining yards. Dixon and Trissolini. Still no stall count here. Finally, Trissolini sees a defender almost on the sideline. Lake precariously close, but Dixon finds herself free in the front of the end zone. That's a solid response from AMP.
10, Seattle 7.
Nice follow from Dixon on there. Mosafari pulled Trudy Phillips back into the depth of the end zone, leaving Dixon a wide open space. Here we see the breakaway movement from AMP. Dixon and Trissolini doing a little bit of give-go to get it within 10 yards of their end zone. Lake trying to milk a few more yards. And right there, and again, we're starting back to see the throw over the top that opened things up for AMP. Again, Trissolini and Dixon's movement down the field. Trissolini's throw to Lake just outside of the end zone. And Mosafari sprints past. Trudy Phillips reacts. And Dixon's able to make that strike cut uncontested.
Most of AMP's goals have come in the red zone, working it down and then working it in, as opposed to looking for it all immediately. Another smooth O-point for Nico Lake.
Finale on that pull for AMP.
Pape again, cross-gender mark. Hassled by Natalie Bova. Rob Robinson lingering in the deep space, and they're going to test him. And that was an unwise choice. Another D for Robinson patrolling the deep space. DeSabato. Rosso and a pick downfield will bring this one back. Bobby Roos.
This comes back to Bobby Roos. Bring it on 2.
Nice cut there from Flamberg, just exploding into the open space. And how about the defensive effort by Crystal Crew?
That was spectacular and absolutely clutch.
Picked up.
BFG can work it down the field. Now they want it all. Robinson versus Rebholz. Rebholz had it and lost it. He had the height advantage and could not put it away.
Connect on the deep look.
Timeout taken by Robinson.
AMP on the turnover. We do have a timeout
dodges
on
the
the
bullet.
Rebholz reads this better,
First timeout in the second half.
but can't come down with it. And it's a shame that Cruz D on the end zone line could not be rewarded with a score for BFG. That was a pretty put.
BFG's 2017 Nationals so far. Smooth win over No Touching in the opening game, and they beat Steamboat. Slim loss to the 4 seed Slow White. We'll see in just over an hour here on the semifinal field against Seattle Mixtape. But then the tight wins against Mischief and then Shame. And there's the Philadelphia crew, members of Patrol and other friends and family.
Rob to put the disc in play out of the timeout. Cody Redhawk on the mark for the FG.
Emily Shields' brother, probably disappointed. David Shields lost a semifinal game with Truck Stop not that long ago, but he's now getting to watch his sister try to bid for a chance in tomorrow's title game.
Pick ball.
You know, it's funny, Megan, we watched Brute Squad earlier today, and they would have extended stretches where 2, 3, 4 members of the team would just be standing still, not cutting, leaving space. Here you have almost everybody moving, albeit in a somewhat choreographed way for AMP.
I think that's part of AMP's success because they constantly have those pieces moving.
Goodness. How about Jeff Pate's defense? Perhaps a game-saving point block.
I was just about to say they always have someone open, but that's, of course, if Jeff Pape is not in the way.
And Jeff Pape launches long and way too far for Rebels. Conservation of greatness, perhaps, right there. AMP wants it all. And Terry Chang denies it. The Salvador's bump. Here's Pate's deep shot. Previously, easily taken by Robinson. And then on the flip trip, Tommy Lee showed that earlier. Now it's Kerry Richards, Kerry Chang.
Coming in on one.
Chang initiates, wide open. Rice and Simon Fox. Back to Chang. Blades it forward to the end zone. BFG back within 2. Another goal for Alexa Kirkland.
Back and forth at this point flustered AMP more than it did BFG. Really looked like BFG was simply being chased by AMP. One open toss after another. A wide open Pape hits a wide open Kirkland.
Nice throw by Chang around the defender to get it to Pape. Not an easy throw, especially in these breezy conditions. Executed well.
And once again electing to go 4 women, 3 men on this next point.
Jeff Pape with his 14th assist of the weekend. Primary center handler, originally from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Continuing to employ their 4-female line on offense. It's something they've tried to cultivate as an advantage throughout the season, and obviously that continues here in the semis. Getting into the twilight here in Florida. Still one more game to come. Seattle Mixtape, Boston Slow White. The defending champs versus the #1 seed. Contact was called, resetting the stall. They took the reset anyway. Moser Farr.
Foul called.
This time the bump creates a stoppage. Two pretty good ultimate resumes right there. Mosafari and Kingery.
Just get on 5.
Many years of being great players in their respected cities.
You have any memories of playing against Kingery?
I certainly do when she played for Wright. I actually have memories of her being in Chicago.
Right.
She had just finished playing with Nemesis the year before I came on. She played with Kaze, the elite mixed team from Chicago.
There's great defense again from BFG downfield, and it's Tommy Lee who's collecting the stats here in the semis.
He is really taking charge for BFG, trying to generate as many opportunities for his team to get back on the board.
They trailed by as many as 4, so it'd get interesting if they could get back within 1. They're looking for it here. That's a great throw, but it was even better defense from Michael Eng. This looked good when it left Hooper's hand, and Eng just made up the ground. Wow.
And it looked like Richards thought that he had the better read on it, played appropriately, but Eng's defense was too good.
Eng will be on the USA U24 mixed team, coached by Martin Aguilera, who had himself a good weekend coaching Atlanta Ozone here at Nationals this weekend.
Foul called.
Oh, let me hop here, Brian.
They're making dinner plans?
They're taking long enough to.
Come on, Patty. Patty. We're at 40 seconds, Patty. 45. What does that mean?
Just at some point, the consequence of this is outweighed, regardless of what the consequence is, by the need to keep the game moving along.
I agree.
But we did have a foul on the play.
A call.
The disc will come in on 1 for Ant.
Every second counts, obviously, but in the
Mosafari
grand
put it in
scheme, it's a
play.
fairly inconsequential result of the extended conversation.
Agreed.
Hit called.
If it's a foul on Universe Point with one person going up for the disc, you understand that a little more conversation might be
This
warranted.
will stay with Michael Lee coming in on 1.
That's part of the game.
Richards on the mark.
Michael Eng is just long. Listed at 6'1". Looks like he has the wingspan of a guy who's 6'7". The AMP females continuing to make their mark on this semifinal game. A smooth movement in the backfield. There was a pick downfield, but not involved in the play, so it'll stay with Eng. 7 minutes away from the soft cap. A 4-0 run early in the first half gave AMP a lead. And then they closed the first half on a 4-1 run to go up 8-4 at the break. Oh no! He saves it. Nearly a disastrous turnover when it looked like Amp was cruising in for the score.
I feel like earlier in the day when we saw revolver and ring play, there were many bobbles that resulted in drops. This is one of the few bobbles I've seen today that a player was able to maintain.
Ruled inbounds. Shoestring toe tap catch from Anna Thompson.
Anna Thompson brings it into the Amp score.
Well, you're going to bobble it?
11,
Well,
Seattle 8.
I'm just going to make a layout toe tap catch on the sideline. No big deal.
One good turn deserves another.
What a grab.
Wow.
Reminiscent of what Claudia Tajima did in the final at the Pro Flight Championships in Seattle.
Yeah, that was also another great toe-the-line catch. Not for a score, it was just to maintain possession. But that toe-the-line enables Thompson to spike the disc.
So what do you think? University of Pennsylvania women's ultimate, dark horse, college nationals next year? Anna Thompson leading the way.
Her style of play has convinced me it is entirely possible. I mean, that's a really clutch grab for someone her age to be able to make. You know, had she not made that grab, you would have thought, wow, that was really tough. You know, wouldn't necessarily have held her accountable or thought less of her. But when your player can dig deep and hold on like that, I mean, that's a very mature play to make at the ripe old age of 20.
Started playing 2 falls ago. Said they were immediately reminded of young Raha after she started playing. Raha joined Amp at 19. Thompson at around 19, 20. Of course, Raha was 20 when Amp last made it to the semifinals back in 2007. That disc floating and seized in the end zone convincingly by Nick Parifico.
Nick Parifico with a takeaway for Amp.
EFG will take over. By the way, when Amp made the semis back in 07, they lost to Slow White, 15-11. Amp's been to nationals every year since 06. Finished 7th at the World Championships in Prague in 2010. They lost in the quarters to the eventual world champion, CLX, the Chad Larson experience. Great speed, running horizontally across the goal line. And Crystal Koo shakes free enough to squeeze the score.
I feel like in the times I've watched BFG this year, Koo has just been so helpful in keeping the disc moving. Today, she has made a great defensive play. She has shown off her speed at the front of the end zone, winning this foot race. She's a far more versatile player than I realized.
She represented Team Canada in the mixed division, played for Traffic in the women's division out of the University of British Columbia. Certainly a nice pickup for Seattle BFG. It's going to be an important next point, Megan, obviously. About 2 minutes away from the soft cap here. Presuming this point doesn't go super quick, we could be looking at 12-9 game to 14 or 11-10 game to 13. Kate Kingery, Trudy Phillip, along with Andy Coleman on the line. And
Cunningly on the
accustomed
pole
to
for
this
BFG.
offensive line, 4 females, 3 males from AMP. Nico Lake. Rahamo Zafari's throw looked precarious until Thompson went to 5th gear.
Good call. Michael England with this for AMP.
AMP, heck of a fake.
Good call.
And a pick downfield will halt play. I think as a player, you're hardly ever aware, especially when you're on the field, of the cap situation and the timer. We're about 20 seconds away from soft cap here in this first mixed semifinal. This could beat the soft cap. It's caught by Priscillani and flipped into the end zone for Devlin. So AMP does beat the buzzer. And the cap will go on after this next one. Currently 12. Heck of a catch near the goal line by Priscillani, who's done it in the backfield and is a deep receiver.
What a great grab. And to be able to keep his weight distributed so that he could turn and make that toss.
Very casual. It's like a pickup game in a Philly park.
Yeah, he turned the momentum of him catching the disc, following that momentum, turned that right into his toss into the end zone.
Priscillani played at Haverford College. He was a finalist for the first ever Donovan Award, the D3 Callahan, this past year. So he came from a team where obviously he had teammates, but he did a lot for his college team, as you would expect. Now with AMP learning how to play as part of the bigger whole, but he has certainly been given and bestowed a large responsibility, and justly so.
Austin Bonelli on the pole for AMP.
Defensive pressure from Zumbrum. Looked like it led to a turnover.
Ball.
Didn't see a foul when it happened initially, but Lindsay Simon Fox seems to think otherwise. Looks like she was. Looks like she was surprised by Zumbrum's presence, but that's called good defense.
No foul on the play.
And AMP will keep the disc.
Matt Zumbrum with that D for AMP. He'll pick up as well. Travel called.
Pivot foot set inches away from where it should have been, so they'll stop play. Nora Mile with a sheepish grin. She likes her high release throws. That one a little too tall for its intended target.
He'll pick up as well for BFG.
Again, the soft cap will go on after this point. Add 2 to the higher team score. Will it be 13-9 or 12-10? Lindsay Simon Fox. And a pick away from the disc.
Just coming in on 5. Pick ball.
This game has lost a little of its pace and pizzazz, Megan.
Yeah, it's getting, as we say in the game, a little bit chippy.
Just going back to Lindsay Simon Fox. This time coming in on 6.
Intercepted by Zumbro. Danielle Walsh with a touch. Back to Normile.
Coming in on 4.
Be fun to see what type of impact Alex Snyder has when she coaches Carolyn Normile. Just over the head, outgrip reach of Austin Benelli. And BFG kind of losing its patience a little bit, just punts it to nobody.
I think both teams exhibiting a little bit of fatigue in this play. We haven't seen that many missed connections from AMP, but BFG fires back with an immediate turnover from Kieran Kelly.
Another huge throw looking for Benelli. Zumbrum in the area too, and it's Matt Zumbrum who soared over the pack. There was a contact call, play continues. Zumbrum made his mark, lay out, and after it disappeared, he dished to the end zone for what looked like a score.
He didn't say out.
He didn't say foul.
I didn't call foul, and then he saw the
I'm gonna go to you.
As to whether he said the word foul,
He yelled foul, and then he stopped.
There was no stoppage, and he threw it.
I do not believe he called the word foul. I don't know how he could have, considering you were 3 feet away from him. I don't know why he would be calling a foul.
It might have been earlier. I didn't.
He didn't call it.
And Amp's in control.
That's Philly 13, Seattle 9.
This put from Normile to one of 2 possible receivers. Zumbrum does a good job of getting himself into position to make that catch. He moves Chang with his mark, and then as soon as Chang is out of the way, makes an easy backhand toss for the score.
Amp's first break of the second half as Zumbrum hits Bova. So Amp now has to get to 15. And it's a steep hill to climb for BFG. I'm just not sure they've shown the willingness to grind here in the second half.
They did initially.
Yeah.
They came out really hot with some fantastic pressure led by Tommy Lee. That pressure flagged a little bit, and they've just been following since.
Justin Carter on that pull for Amp.
Lee hits Kingery. Kirkland. Simon. Hingery can't get there.
BFG turnover.
How hard does BFG want to play D right now? And
Thompson
takes it. That was decisive and powerful, and it might be nullified by a trap.
Looks like we do have a call back at the throw, however.
Here's the throw to Kingery that is just out of her reach despite a valiant layout.
Travel call is upheld by the observer. No goal.
Travel call
Just coming back to Anna Thompson.
Anna Thompson will get it back. I don't care, that didn't count. Sick toss.
And on 3.
Is this going to work? Ooh, there was contact, and a foul was called. And it doesn't appear like there's any contest.
But there's no contest on that.
Tommy Lee fouled Stephen Ing.
Nice put from Thompson. I feel like sometimes when you have that travel call on you, you can make a really timid decision the very next time the disc is in play.
That was a bit of desperation from Tommy Lee.
He'll tap it in and put it in play from just outside of the end
See
zone.
beyond the fence. Slow White mixtape getting loose. Oh no. Ing gives it away.
Tommy Lee with a hand block. Just over to the
BFG want to play defense. Tommy Lee answers pretty badly.
Lindsay Simon Fox after a smooth streak of passes. And BFG works at the length of the field to reach double digit, 13-10.
Alexa Kirkland with the score for BFG. That's Philly 13.
Another goal for Alexa
Seattle
Kirkland.
10.
Nice movement from BFG this point. Unlike really we've seen from them this half. They are determined, they are fired up. That was pretty sweet disc skills. But is it too little too late?
You can see the little pangs of frustration in Kirkland's semi-spike. Tommy Lee and Alexa Kirkland. They'll be getting married next year, not necessarily because of that completion, but because they've had a long-standing relationship. But they're a good duo. I don't believe he was getting ready to propose right there, but it looked like a proposal propose, and well, looked like Andrea DeSabato may have had something to say about Tommy's bid. Part of the sport of ultimate, you're intermingling with the players you're competing against. It's usually, even when it gets contentious in the field, I find it's usually very friendly in the sidelines, even in some of the most contentious games we've seen, but not always.
No, not always. And I think that's what sets ultimate players apart, in that they really do try and work through it. The anger and frustration doesn't necessarily fade away as soon as the point is over or the game is over.
Good call.
But I do think in general, for the most part, the community is always trying to be better people and rise above that tension, because it's fun when your opponent is tough. You have to respect how hard AMP is working, because that makes it a better game for you.
Good call.
We were talking about it last night, Megan, and earlier today as well, about the tears that you see when your dream is unfulfilled. And whether it was with Seattle Riot yesterday or Denver Molly Brown today or whatever the case might be, you have an ambition, and if you don't reach it, it hurts.
Just coming in on 5.
And you see how much these players want it and how hard they've worked with the reactions to the realization that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, the grind of the season is so long. You put so much time and energy, sacrifice so much to try and reach your goal. But then the off season after a bad season is an even longer.
Nice throw by Bobby Roos. That Zumbrum falls in the hammer. And it's 14-10. Amp can taste it.
That's Philly 14, Seattle 10.
Couple Amp veterans, 28-year-old Bobby Roos to 32-year-old Matt Zumbrum. Zumbrum's had himself a game.
He certainly has. He's done a great job of reading the disc and keeping himself positioned well. That particular throw, he didn't have a defender nearby, but it was still a tricky read. He had to do a bit of a 180 while running to make sure that he positioned his shoulders square with the disc.
Here we go, big boy!
BFG trying to prevent this from being the final point of its competitive season. Do you have any early preliminary thoughts on mixtape Slow White? I hope so, because we're going on the air in about 30 minutes or so.
You know, it's been really tough to root against Mixtape. I don't think there's a team as battle-tested in really tight games as Mixtape. They've had to dig deep a number of times to pull out wins on Universe Point, and I think that's going to give them the edge over Slow White.
Slow White's played a lot of tight games too, but you're right. In this particular season, Mixtape has been the team that always explodes in the second half. Plenty of weapons. The electric Khalif El Salam, who had 2 huge Ds in the Universe Point in their quarterfinal game against Boston Wildcard. Otherwise, we would have had an all-Boston semifinal.
But again, that is classic Mixtape. They did it at Pro Championship. They were very nearly out of the final stages of the bracket. And yet someone stepped up and said, not yet.
Jeff Pape called a foul.
Foul called.
Steve Rosso looks less than convinced.
Well, I'm just running with you. I don't think I pushed anything. I'm just running up the I understand you're running. I had my hand hit the disc. I don't think I hit your arm, though. You came into my back. I'm just running with you.
Let's see what the video has to say. I can see that being a foul.
Do you want to send it back? Yeah. Because I like to go this way.
Okay, that's your call. All right. So for ruling was a foul. Contact in the back was causing trouble.
The disc will stay with BFG. Jeff Pape with possession. Steve Rosso on the mark.
Signing with another assist.
And signing with the end for Kieran Henry in the BFG score.
And now BFG staring.
That's Philly 14, Seattle 11.
They need not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 breaks in a row.
If we had seen just a little bit more of this from BFG earlier in the game, this might have been a different story. Using the space, Wiley saw how fast their cuts were coming in. Koo to Pape, everyone working so hard to get to space. Really made it very easy for BFG to work the disc in. That has not been their style. That has not been the story the entire game.
have seen crazy comebacks before.
And Molecular, you got 4 women, 3 men.
Most recently, what Jack Williams and UNC Wilmington did at College National stands out. This is not an impossible rally for BFG, but with the way AMP's offense has played, it seems unlikely. 4 females out there again for the Philly O-line.
Right, BFG doesn't seem to quite have the energy to string together multiple breaks.
Mozafari, Shields.
Tommy Lee on the ball from the USC.
Anna Thompson out there.
Out of bounds on the pull.
Amp will get it from the brick mark.
Kevin Drissolini picks up for Amp. We'll put it in play from the brick mark.
It's Devlin out there with Shields and Morris and Mozafari. Drissolini, Ing and Lake. Just big chunks of yards that Amp has gained with relative ease.
Quick ball.
Looked like he held on to it longer than he wanted to, and yet it still works. Lake read it best, and he fires for the win. Mike Ing in the end zone to clinch a trip to the finals for Philadelphia Amp.
Winning score for Amp.
Team has been around since 2006.
Philadelphia
heading to the finals
15.
for the first time.
BFG 11.
Great
game, everybody.
Did not go off.
Congratulations, Amp. On to the finals tomorrow.
We've made a couple of great grabs this point. Excuse me, this game. Ing realizing that Lake has made the grab, just sort of scoots himself over to that front pylon, ending the game for Amp.
Philadelphia 15, Seattle 11. Amp dispatches BFG on the finals.
We got one more semifinal game tonight coming up at 8 o'clock.
The USA Ultimate National Championships are presented by Discraft Ultrastar. Find the official disc of USA Ultimate at more than 1,900 US retail locations. Philadelphia Amp on to the finals. Getting ready to reminisce and discuss their 15-11 win over BFG. We're joined by Carolyn Normile down on the field. Carolyn, congratulations on this victory.
Thank you.
What in your mind was the key to outlasting this BFG team today?
We just went into the game fearless. We knew we could do it, play our offense, play our defense, and just go into it fearless. That's what we did.
Offensively, you guys generated some good movement, good momentum the entire time. Do you feel like you guys have the legs to do this again tomorrow?
Definitely. We have a full day, a full night to rest up, and we get to watch this game, which helps. So get some food and rest up, and we'll be ready.
Carolyn, we've been particularly impressed with your throwing ability, especially your unique high release throws. How have you developed these throws? Who have you modeled your throwing game after?
I guess my teammates back at Pitt. It's a throw that a bunch of us have been working on for a few years, and I'm very comfortable with it now, so it comes out in the games, and it's definitely one of my favorite throws.
Real quick, give us your thoughts on what it'll be like to face either Slow White or Mixtape tomorrow.
It's going to be amazing. We're really looking forward to it.
Either way, you don't care?
Nope.
Well, congratulations on the win today. Go get some rest, and we'll see you tomorrow around 12:30.
All right, thank you very much.
That's Carolyn Normile after impressive performance in this semifinal against Seattle BFG. The Discraft play of the game belongs to Anna Thompson. How about that catch? Towing the sideline off the Trissolini scooper. That had the team fired up. That grab right there, laying out. Made it 11-8, and from there, and be able to pull away as nighttime fell here in Sarasota. A look at the mixed bracket. One more slot on Championship Sunday coming up next, Megan.
That's going to be an exciting battle between two great teams. I feel like Mixed Tape has showed their dominance all season, but Slow White, such a seasoned program, really making some smart adjustments throughout. It's going to be a great show. Less than 25 minutes to air. So for Megan Tormey, I'm Evan Lepler saying so long for now from the Premier Sports Complex in Sarasota, Florida, where the final score is AM15, BFG 11. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live on the ESPN app, or to watch the entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of networks. Log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. One more game in semifinal Saturday. Mixed Tape, Slow White coming up next.